Do 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 do. Hi, I'm Mr. Jeremy from the Mr. Jeremy Show. And here's the deal. Maybe, and this is just one of my theories, maybe this was like a huge test for Adam and Eve. Maybe God wanted them to eat. Man, God dang it. Maybe God wanted them to eat from the tree of knowledge. He wanted them to know what sin was. He wanted them to know what good, right, and wrong is. Although he had a funny way of doing this. You make a good point, and you made a very logical point. God seems to do this stuff a lot. He does a lot of crazy things. And him putting up the flaming sword after the fact that they ate the fruit is kind of like when you are going when you have railroad tracks, okay? You have a set of railroad tracks, and there are no lights. There are no lights. There are no closing arms. They don't put any lights up at that railroad track until someone gets killed. Well, even then they're just like, oh, we let's not mess with it. Let's just leave it like it is. After a few people get killed, it's like, maybe we should put some signal lights and, closing arms on those railroad tracks. It seems kind of dangerous. And of course, they put up signal lights and railroad arms after the fact. After the fact that a few people got killed. So when you really think about it, God did truly create us in His own image. And if He does know the future, and He knows everything that's going to happen from the beginning of time, from when He created us to the end of time, well, here's another good question. He gave us all free will. He gave us all free will, so we all have free will. So we all make up our own decisions. How did Adam and Eve know that it was wrong for them to eat this fruit if they didn't know right and wrong? I don't know. I never thought of that before. I never thought that they didn't know right from wrong. I thought it was just automatic that they knew right from wrong. It's like, okay, that's wrong. Don't eat the fruit from that tree. Okay, I got it. We won't. I thought the whole idea of the story was that women can't be trusted, and women are temptress, and that they can do anything. They can manipulate any man to do anything that they want, and that women then, back in the days when these people were writing the Bible, women were not equal to men. So maybe they were just telling the story their way and letting us interpret it any way we wanted to, any way we see fit. But I think the story is God was testing Adam and Eve to see if they see what they would do, to see if they could be tempted by the devil, because God knew that the devil was going to come along and try to spoil the whole plan. Maybe He wanted to see if they really did have a sense of right and wrong, even though in the story it says that they didn't have a sense of right and wrong. How do we know that God didn't create them with the sense of right and wrong, but that the tree of knowledge itself was actually more of a that they would know everything about right and wrong? Maybe they did have knowledge, but they didn't have complete knowledge. I mean, think of it this way. A baby is born. When a baby is born, it doesn't have a sense of anything. It's much like an animal, much like a puppy, if you will. It doesn't have a sense, it doesn't know how to do anything. But as it gets older, it starts to have a sense of right and wrong. But how do they know what's wrong? We have to teach them. We have to teach them what's wrong, right? So, in a sense, if we didn't teach, if we didn't know, if we didn't have a bite of the, I guess if we didn't have a bite of the tree of knowledge, we wouldn't know what's right and wrong. But even animals, when an animal does something wrong, you say, shame on you, and you slap him with a newspaper, they all of a sudden they realize, hey, what I'm doing is wrong. Because every time I do this, he hits me with that newspaper, so it must be wrong. But it has to be taught. It has to be taught. People are not born with a sense of right and wrong. We're not. We're much like animals. We have to be taught everything. We have to be taught how to walk. We have to be taught how to eat. We have to be taught, we don't have to be taught how to breathe, but the point is, we have to be taught everything. So in a way, the story does make some sense. Adam and Eve had to be taught, or they had to eat from the magic fruit of knowledge in order to attain this knowledge of what's right and wrong. So I don't know why God put the trees there. I don't know why he did the temptation thing. I don't know what makes him better than everybody else. But that's just what he did. And I think maybe he did it for a reason. Maybe he figured, okay, we're going to test. We're going to test to see if when I created these creatures, if they have a sense of right and wrong. Now the only thing animals do is they have instinct. And when you throw a puppy in the water, it will swim. It automatically knows how to swim. When you throw a baby in the water, it's not going to know how to swim, and then it will drown. So humans really know less than animals when it comes to instinct. We don't have that sort of instinct that allows us to have the, I don't know. Anyway, there's my thoughts on this whole thing. And what you left out is you left out Lillian. Lillian, or Lily, or whatever her name was created before Eve. She was created from the earth the same way Adam was created. And she refused to have sex with Adam, basically. She refused to lie with him. And God got pissed off about this and banished her from the garden. She was the first to get banished from the garden. And then we know the whole story with the ribs. He put him to sleep. He took from the ribs and created woman. Woman. See? The word from man. Whoa, man. You know? So anyway, it's something to chew on, definitely. And just get... tell me what you think. God dang it. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.